Hi, my name is Gillian Askew and I'm one of 3 co-founders of a company called Go for Growth. Go for Growth is a social enterprise dedicated to helping the marketplace to find and secure work in the public sector. There are no closed doors in Go for Growth, so any organisation of any size, in any sector, of any type can come to Go for Growth and we'll support you in trying to achieve your growth ambitions. North Yorkshire Council talked to us about an upcoming procurement for their adult social care, and what they really wanted to do was make sure that they could support the marketplace as best as possible so that they could take part in this procurement.
My name's Stephen Crutchley. I'm a Strategic Service Development Manager in Health and Adult Services. As a council, we are legally required to undertake a procurement process for the commissioning of adult social care. And we do that through a process called an approved provider list. The decision was taken that we wanted an external party to support providers to come onto the provider list because it's a legal process, it's quite time consuming, and some social care providers could be voluntary organisations and they don't have that expertise in relation to completing procurement documentation and that knowledge and skills. So we wanted an organisation that could support those smaller organisations to be able to apply.
My name's Hannah Brown. I work within Health and Adult Services at North Yorkshire Council, and I was very heavily involved from a commissioning perspective in the whole process of reprocuring our adult social care approved provider list. The previous approved provider list contractually and legally came to an end at the end of October last year, so it was an absolute must for us to reprocure the approved provider list, but also to make sure that we engaged with and onboarded onto that new approved provider list as many as, if not all and more, of those previous providers on the previous approved provider list. Whilst we worked really hard to make the application process as streamlined and accessible as possible for providers, what we also had to balance that accessibility with is the requirement for obviously due diligence as a council and adhering to the relevant procurement and contractual legislation. So whilst ever we might have wanted to make it, the simplest process possible, there was still a requirement for us to have that due diligence.
My name's Tim Wood. I work for North Yorkshire Council as a procurement officer. My job's really from a procurement perspective. It's looking at the market, it's looking how we can achieve our outcomes, but also ensure that we're engaging with the market. That there was obviously a strict timeline in place that we needed to get providers onboarded for the 1st of November 2022, and if we didn't, we would have a lot of people who were in dire need of support packages that weren't able to get them. So it's really about addressing NYC's needs, our outcomes, but also being outward looking and looking at the market.
We identified 3 main ways that we could support the marketplace with North Yorkshire Council. First was through webinars. The second was through frequently asked questions, and the third was through one-to-one sessions directly with providers. There were a number of webinars that we ran, firstly looking at the specifications, so what North Yorkshire Council were trying to buy. We also ran webinars on the process itself, so how to navigate the documentation that you had to fill out for the procurement opportunity, and webinars around process itself, what you needed to have in your toolkit to get ready to take part.
Hello, my name's Claire Canavan. I manage the participation and engagement team during this time, and I was working with service development to support them with planning and engaging with providers about the approved provider list procurement. I think it was really good to have that regular offering of recorded webinars that people could access when they wanted to, and I think having that kind of booking system really helped us prepare in terms of knowing who was engaged and who we were kind of prepared to speak to. So I think that was really successful.
We put together a frequently asked questions document, and each time we had a webinar, each time we had one-to-one sessions, each time that we ran the drop-in sessions, we would take commonly asked questions and add them to the frequently asked questions document, which was published both through Go for Growth on our social media channels, but also through North Yorkshire Council and through anybody that had expressed interest in the opportunity. North Yorkshire Council and Go for Growth recognised that the process of procurement sometimes needs personal support, and Go for Growth offers a one-to-one facility. So anybody at any time can book a one-to-one via Teams or on the phone with Go for Growth.
I'm Lauren, I'm from Go for Growth, so I work as a procurement assistant within Go for Growth. I was involved in multiple areas of the APL really, so I did attend the webinars and kind of man the Q&A functions, and then also running one-to-one Teams calls with providers. I think when it comes to one-to-ones, they must have been a real benefit to providers just based on the vast number of one-to-ones that we did actually host. I mean, just myself, not actually taking into account the number of one-to-ones that Jill had with providers. I had over 65 one-to-ones myself.
In any procurement process, there are clarification questions. It's a part of any procurement competition so that bidders or interested parties can ask questions throughout the procurement competition. In addition to that, through this approved provider list procurement with North Yorkshire Council, we added in one-to-ones, process webinars, frequently asked questions documents, and all the additional resources on top of the clarification questions to make sure that there was a full and robust support environment for bidders.
We ran 16 events and we had, I think it was 848 attendees to those 16 events. So obviously we had at least the 65 one-to-one sessions just alone, but that doesn't include the number of providers that will have come to us over email or that will have contacted us on the back of webinars.
North Yorkshire is significant in its geography, and it's a positive but a challenge that we have a really diverse adult social care market as well, with over 600 providers on the previous APL. So really challenging for us to undertake a procurement that is accessible to that whole market, but really important to us that we kind of engage with and work with as many providers in that market as possible to be able to cater for the kind of complex range of needs of people in North Yorkshire, and also to maximise choice as well.
I'm Katie Longstaff. I'm Senior Category Manager covering the people category here at North Yorkshire Council, so that's kind of your health and adult services and your children and young people services. Overall, the procurement's been a really been a success. I think we've ended up in a position where we've got 374 providers on the APL as of today, so the 8th of November 2023. So just over a year since we launched it, and I think looking back, that's significant. I don't think we have any other procurement as a council where we're dealing with this volume of providers, and to successfully get them to navigate through the process has been just a testament to all the work that's gone in. That for me is exactly what we wanted to achieve through this procurement.
The APL gave us flexibility with regards to onboarding suppliers during the contract. We needed to ensure we have enough suppliers on the approved provider list to give service user choice in terms of locations and in terms of allowing them to choose the providers they want. And it allows us to award packages of care quickly, and also with the option of a direct award.
I think the way that we structured the procurement around the costs in particular, we've got a much greater visibility and understanding of the breakdown of the costs in this area. That's been really useful. Obviously there's always lessons learned, I think, that we can gather from any procurement that we do. It's kind of trying to manage that complex balance between getting all the information that we need and assessing quality in a valuable way versus making it a shorter, easier process for providers.
There's no such thing as a perfect process. One of the things I'm most proud of is we've learnt a lot through this. So we've learnt what providers need and some of the better ways to offer that support to the marketplace. But it's replicatable. So any commissioning organisation can put this kind of support together for the marketplace. In that sense, it's not unique. It's up to the commissioner to think about how they want to support the marketplace, and it's very doable. And we'll keep learning as we go, and we'll keep making it better, and we'll keep making the support as accessible as possible to the providers that need and want it.